What's up, Steelers Nation? Before we break down today's headline-making news, let me remind you this team is working relentlessly to improve, piece by piece, to get back to being a true Super Bowl contender. Every decision this offseason points to one thing: winning now. So if you're excited about the new direction and want to stay updated with everything black and gold, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our community of die-hard fans who bleed Steelers football. Let's get into it, because we've got major quotes from a Steelers legend that are stirring up real debate. Ben Roethlisberger isn't entirely sold on Ramsey playing his natural position at an elite level anymore. The Pittsburgh Steelers didn't wait around this offseason. Omar Khan and company came out swinging, and one of the boldest moves was the trade that sent Minkah Fitzpatrick to Miami in exchange for Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith. Let that sink in. The Steelers gave up a foundational piece in Fitzpatrick, a player who's been the anchor of the secondary since 2019, and they brought in a 30-year-old corner with Hall of Fame potential and a reliable red zone threat at tight end. Love or hate the move, one thing is clear: the Steelers front office believes this roster is ready to compete. This isn't a rebuild. This is win-now mode. And with Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and a hungry defense, the pressure is on. We all love Big Ben. His insight holds weight in Steelers Nation. But on his latest episode of Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger, he threw a bit of cold water on the Ramsey hype. "Greater than I would imagine he'll play in the nickel," Roethlisberger said. "Bring him inside. A little bit of that, because is he the same dude that he was as a lockdown corner outside?" I don't think Ben isn't saying Ramsey can't contribute, but he's questioning if Ramsey can still play outside corner at an elite level. And honestly, it's a fair question. Ramsey turns 31 this season. His speed isn't quite what it was in Jacksonville or during that Super Bowl run with the Rams. That's natural. Time hits everyone in the NFL. But this isn't a panic situation. It's about role. The good news: the Steelers already have Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay on the outside to physical, aggressive, and proven cover corners. That gives Pittsburgh the flexibility to move Ramsey around the field, turning him into a hybrid weapon. Nickel, slot, even deep safety reps. It's all on the table. This is where it gets exciting. Remember, Ramsey himself said in past interviews that he wants to be used like Charles Woodson, a versatile, dual DB who can line up anywhere and change the game. Greater than he did a bunch of different stuff, and he affected the game in so many different ways. Ramsey once said of Woodson, "That's kind of what I want to do." So no, maybe he's not shut down anymore on the outside. But as a Swiss Army knife, he could be deadly. With Mike Tomlin's creativity and Terrell Austin pulling the strings, don't be surprised if Ramsey becomes the X factor of this defense. Let's also not ignore what Ramsey brings off the field. You've got Joey Porter Jr. entering his third year, and now he gets to learn from two vets in Ramsey and Slay. That's mentorship money can't buy. And when it comes to locker room leadership, Ramsey is no diva. He wants to win, and he knows. His legacy is on the line in Pittsburgh. Depth could become an issue if injuries pile up, but right now, the top three corners look locked in, and that's something fans should feel confident about. Look, as exciting as Ramsey, Rodgers, and Metcalf are, there's one massive priority that still hasn't been resolved. And you know what I'm talking about? TJ Watt's contract extension. Watt has been the heartbeat of this defense since he entered the league. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year, and let's face it, the Steelers simply don't win without him. Since 2017, the numbers are crystal clear. No Watt, no wins. Fans are starting to sweat though. As of today, Watt still hasn't signed that extension. And while reports say the team wants him back, the fact that it's dragging into mid-July is not ideal. Here's the reality. If this team is serious about chasing a title with this current roster, Watt has to be locked in. Ben Roethlisberger's skepticism isn't hate, it's a reminder. The NFL moves fast. One day you're elite, the next you're adjusting to a new role. But Ramsey doesn't need to be CB1, he needs to be Playmaker 1, someone who shows up in the red zone, in the slot, on third downs. The Steelers aren't asking him to shadow WR1 South every snap anymore. They're asking him to lead, adapt, and dominate in key moments. With Watt, Ramsey, Slay, and Joey Porter Jr. on the field together, That's a defense that can win playoff games. But the clock is ticking. Until Watt gets his deal, the 2025 puzzle isn't fully complete. For weeks now, there's been one name looming over the Steelers' training camp. Buzz louder than any other, T.J. Watt, a future Hall of Famer, a fan favorite, the heart and soul of the Steelers' defense, and he still doesn't have a new contract. Just this week, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported that an anonymous NFL coordinator believed Watt wore down a little bit during the final stretch of the 2024 season. That's right, the league isn't just watching Watt's highlights. They're analyzing his drop-off during Pittsburgh's most crucial games. Let's remember, from Week 15 through the Steelers' wild-card loss to the Baltimore Ravens, Watt didn't record a single sack, not one. He had just 7 total tackles over that span. That has raised some eyebrows inside the building, and now the consequences are hitting. Now here's where things get even more interesting. NFL. Insider Mike Florio appeared on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh and delivered what he called the common-sense explanation for why the Steelers are pumping the brakes on handing Watt a mega deal. If you pay guys for what they've done, you're asking for trouble. It's not what have you done for me lately. It's what are you doing for me right now, and what do I expect you to do tomorrow. That's a cold, hard NFL truth. Watt turns 31 in October. He's coming off a stretch of 4 straight games with minimal production. He's had injury issues to remember. He only played 10 games in 2022. When you're an NFL front office and you're staring down a contract extension that could hand out $120+ million in guarantees, you have to think ahead, and that's exactly what Florio is saying the Steelers are doing. Another layer to this drama, money, and not just any money, but Myles Garrett money. Garrett signed a $160 million extension with the Browns this past March, which included a staggering $160 million guaranteed. Now, according to Pittsburgh insider Mark Madden, T.J. Watt wants a deal that beats that. Think about that for a second. Watt is older than Garrett. His numbers dipped at the end of last season, and yet he wants more than one of the best defenders. In football, you can see why the Steelers might be a bit hesitant. Steelers have zero intention of trading Watt, but are still waiting despite all the rumors. Reports say the Steelers have zero intention of trading T.J. Watt. That tells us one thing. Remember, this offseason has been about bold moves, signing Rodgers, trading for Metcalf, acquiring Yolan, Ramsey. All of that screams win now. But giving Watt a lifetime achievement contract just for what he's already done? That's not part of the plan, at least not yet. Florio hinted that Pittsburgh is playing the waiting game. They're not going to rush into a deal just because Watt's a legend in the locker room. They want to see how he looks in camp, how he moves, and maybe even how he performs in preseason before locking him into another massive extension. So what's the next domino? Training camp opens July 23rd, and all eyes will be on Watt. Will he show up and participate in full drills? Will he report, but only go through individual work like he did during his 2021 hold-in? Or will he sit out altogether and crank up the pressure? Let's be clear. Watt is in the final year of his contract, and he does have some leverage. He could even threaten to sit out regular season games if no deal is reached before the opener against the New York Jets on September 7th. But most insiders, including Jeremy Fowler, still believe a deal will get done. It's just going to come down to guaranteed money, length, and whether Pittsburgh believes Watt can still be elite through 2028 or 2029. Drop a comment below and let us know. Do you agree with Ben Roethlisberger? Is Ramsey no longer an elite outside corner? Should the Steelers play him primarily at safety or nickel moving forward? And how confident are you that T.J. Watt will get his extension before Week 1? Let's talk about it. Your voice is what makes Steelers Nation so powerful. And remember, if you're enjoying the content, loving the insights, or just fired up about this 2025 roster, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss an update. We've got more big stories coming as training camp nears. And trust me, things are just getting started. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.